Welcome back, crafty friends, to Makers Gonna Learn YouTube channel. We are so excited to have you here today. If this is your first time visiting, my name is Becca Oakes. I am a craft producer here with Makers Gonna Learn, and I am excited to teach you today how to make these awesome leather earrings with your maker. These are super easy, guys. This is using one of Makers Gonna Learn cut files that we have available to all of our members, every tier of our membership. So download it and let's get to crafting. Okay, so jumping into supplies today, we have some leather. This is not regular, like the thinner Cricut leather that is available, sort of the faux leather. This is a leather that we've gotten from Etsy, I believe. So it's a little bit thicker. It's a tooling leather, and so that means that we're gonna have to use a maker today to cut that. So you will need a maker. You cannot do this on your Air 2. And you will need a knife blade. So we have a knife blade, we have our StrongGrip Mat so that it will hold our leather nicely. We have a leather hole punch. It's kind of like a hole punch. There's probably a better term for it. But for the sake of today, we're calling it a hole punch, a leather punch. In addition to those things, we also have 2 sets of jewelry making pliers so that we can put the hardware on our earrings. So for hardware, we're going to be using some jump rings. We're also going to use some earring hooks. And then if you want a chain, you can use a chain. This has just a simple chain as well that we got from a craft store. So as far as supplies goes, that is it. It's pretty minimal. We are ready to jump over into Design Space and show you guys how to cut this out. Okay, over in Design Space, we are just going to search for our cut file. We're going to search feather_earrings because that is what the file is titled. There it is. We will select that and press insert images. Now, all you have to do, well, there's 2 things you have to do, but one thing you have to do is decide what size you want your earrings. So the ones that I've made are 3 inches. So what I'm going to do is just go up to the top where it says width and height, and I'm going to change the height to 3. And because I left this button locked, the ratio box locked, it automatically makes the width a nice proportion. So that is a cool feature that Design Space allows. Now you'll notice over in the right hand side panel there are 2 layers. So one is this line that's right down the middle. That line signifies the vein of the feather. If you don't want that vein, you can absolutely just delete it. So make sure that the layer is selected and just press delete. I actually want it. So what you're gonna have to do, right now it wants to cut that line, and that could also be a look if you want that. I want it to be scored, and I did forget to mention that if you want that score line, then you do need a scoring wheel or a scoring stylus. Okay, so we are going to use our scoring stylus today to make that nice vein in the middle, and all I'm going to do is go up to the top where it says line type. Right now it says cut. I'm going to change that to score. So now you have that nice dotted line there, and then what I need to do is select both of these layers and press attach. And now I'm ready to make it. I'm gonna hit make it, and you can see that that scoring line is still on top of the feather like you want it. If you hadn't pressed attach, it would have been over here randomly on the right or something, and it wouldn't have put it on the design that you want. So that's why it's important to press attach. Now I'm going to press continue. Now that I am connected to my maker, I can go ahead and browse my material for the material I need to cut. I'm going to type in leather, and several options come up. This is a tooling leather. It's not super thick, so I'm just going to select tooling leather, 2 to 3 ounces. I'm going to press done, and I'm not sure how new our knife blade is, so I'm going to go ahead and put more pressure just so that in like the tips of the little feathers and in the corners and stuff, hopefully with that more pressure it'll have a really nice cut. And then down at the bottom you'll see it wants me to put my scoring wheel in. I'm not using a scoring wheel today. I'm just going to use my scoring stylus. So I'm going to press Edit Tools and then press Scoring Stylus. Now I can press Apply, and so my scoring stylus will go in clamp A, and then I can keep my knife blade in clamp B. So now that that is selected, I can load my mat and cut. Okay, so I cut a small piece of this leather, and I'm going to put it with actual color facing up and put it right on my mat in the top left corner and load it into my maker. So once all of the passes are made with this leather, your design space will say for you to check your cut. So again, without removing your mat, you need to check your cut. So just pull it up like this, and you can see mine is coming up really nicely. If it weren't coming up nicely, then you can press your Cricut button again and it will do another pass. But since we're good, we're going to unload our mat. Okay, so now we can just remove the extra that we don't need anymore. You may have to pull a little bit on these corners up at the top, or the points at the top rather. But it comes off pretty good, guys. Now what you're gonna wanna do, the nature of leather, you can see, is to have this sort of fringy look on the sides when it's cut, and we don't want that. So all we're gonna do is just take some scissors, flip it over backward, and then at an angle, we're going to cut that off. I have worked with a lot of leather, guys, and I've never worked with a leather, a good leather like this that doesn't do this. You can definitely, if you're using a faux leather, it probably doesn't do this. Anyway, you can see the difference that makes. It's a really quick step to do that. And it makes a big difference. So don't skip that step. Just going to do this one again. Again, guys, we're just cutting off the back. So we're not touching the front at all. It's not affecting the shape of it or the look on the front of it. We're just angling on the back, cutting those little fringy extra pieces off. Now we are ready. And I don't know if you can see or not, this cut file has a little hole cut in the top for your hardware. Now, we made this so small that that little hole is too small for my jump rings to go in. So that is why I have this leather tool. What I'm going to do is just rotate it so that it is on the smallest punch. And then I'm going to place the leather on this brass piece, and I'm gonna, you can line it up without pushing it. So I'm gonna line it up in that, where that hole is, and then I'm gonna apply pressure to push that hole out. Same with this one. Align it and just push pressure. It's that easy. So guys, this is finished. At this point, if you wanted to go in, you could take little scissors if you want to, and create just some little lines up through there. I might actually do that for you guys just so that you can see. We'll do one with and one without. So if you wanted more of a fluid look, then you would just go in with some scissors and put some little bitty cuts in there. And you could add these cuts in your design space if you wanted to as well. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to flip it over just because for me, naturally, as a right-handed person, it's easier to do that. This wouldn't be as natural. So I'm going to flip it over from the back and add these cut lines here as well. Really quick. You don't want them too long. You just want them enough so that the ends kind of look like they've got wind coming through them or something. So there's both of those options there, you can see. Now all we need to do is add our hardware to them. So there are so many different hardware options for earrings. One of my favorites, actually, I don't necessarily want them to be super dressy, so I got these, and they are used for earrings, or they're also used for wine glass charms. So you know, the little charms that you put on your wine glass, the stem, if you're at a party or whatever, so that you know that that's your glass. So you can get these on Amazon. But at this point, if I didn't want any other hardware, if I didn't want a chain or anything like that, I just put this through the hole. Oh, I did that backward. And then they're ready to wear. It's that easy. Super cute if you want it simple like that. Or if you want a chain and some different hardware, then we're going to do that as well. So we have 2 needle nose pliers. These are specifically for jewelry making, so they're smaller, but you can use larger ones if you prefer that. And I am just going to pull out, this is a chain, and it comes on a spool, but I'm at the end of my spool, so that's why mine's just laying there. But here's a little bit of chain, and then we are going to grab some jump rings in here. Okay, so I have my jump rings here, and then now I just need some little hooks for my earrings. And what I'm going to do is take one jump ring and my pliers. And I have given this tip a couple of times, but if you haven't watched one of my videos before, I'm going to give it again. When you're opening a jump ring, don't put your pliers in like this and then just pull out. When you do that, I'll show you. It opens fine, but when it goes back together, it becomes all misshapen and it's no longer circular. So don't do that. The way that you're going to want to do that is to put the jump ring in between your pliers, just like this. Put your other pair of pliers on this side, and then you're going to twist like this. So you're going to twist it open this way. I'll put my little earring on there, and now to put it back, I'm going to do the exact opposite. I'll put it on the opposite side there, and then just pull it back like that. Now I still have this awesome circular shape, and it doesn't look weird. I don't know if you can see that or not, but that's just the easiest way to do it that I have found. So I'm going to do the same thing with this earring hook. I'm going to open the little jump ring, place my earring on it, and then twist it back. Okay, so now to put the chain and the earring on, I'm going to use another jump ring, the same size, opening it the same way. Then I just put my earring on that jump ring, and then I'm going to place my chain on the jump ring. There we go. I'll put my earring on the jump ring as well, the hook rather. And now I'm going to close all of that up. Now, holding the earring, I have found the easiest way to do is by holding the actual hook and then letting this fall. I can see if I want it to be the full length of it. That's why I'm holding it down like this. You could cut it shorter if you wanted to, but at this point I can see where it's actually going to naturally fall. And then I'll just take my little pliers that have the wire cutter on the inside and then cut that. It's that easy. Now, if you had a chain that were thicker, then you probably wouldn't be able to cut it that easily. But the thicker chains have the links that are soldered together or just placed together, so you can use your pliers to open them instead of cutting them. But we have both of these, 2 different options. They're both very cute, and they were both very simple to put together. Okay guys, I hope you really enjoyed this earring tutorial. As you can see, I really love these earrings. I do wear these a lot, but have fun with these earrings, guys. Do some different prints, some different textures, different colors, whatever. There are all sorts of resources for some really cool leather or faux leather materials that you can make these earrings with. Guys, if you aren't a subscriber to our YouTube channel, go ahead and hit subscribe. Like this video if you liked it. Leave us some comments. Nice comments, preferably. You do you. Anyway, if you haven't checked out our website, if you don't know about Maker's Gonna Learn and all the cut files and fonts that we offer, check out our website, makersgonnalearn.com, and email us with any questions that you have about it. Thanks so much. Have a good day.